Uh-huh. They have what is known as the Council. Oh, deliberate assembly, specifically a group of people elected or chosen to make rules, laws, and decisions. Yeah. The United Nations Security Council. Well, could you get me all the employees of that and all of those that travel from different nations? Yes. Let's say we had this big court case that involved the use of the United Nations. And I found out that the member nations and the employees that go there for the United Nations Security Council meetings quite often will have a president of whatever nation talk to them. Yes. And say, well, we need to have sanctions or we need to have the support of the United Nations. And then I talk to you, ooch, and I tell you, well, you decided to support corruption. For every member nation of the United Nations, yes, you are all you're individually liable. So for the president of Russia to sit over there and say, well, Paul, we'd be happy to sell you the blueprints. I would look at your government and say, well, who is it that you should? Now, to be able to get what I want, I need somebody to enforce the laws. Yes. And since I'm having this real big problem with technologists, yes, there's the Counterfeit Access Device and Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1984 that criminalizes various computer-related activities such as accessing without permission, yes, a computer system belonging to a bank or the federal government. Now, when I look at the actual the well, somebody has been what you've been doing some national computer fraud and abuse. Yes. Now, Internet Explorer, the browser on all those government computers. Yes. And then that 95% of the world's population, the Microsoft operating system, the 5%, oh, Linux, Android, ooh, Apple. Why don't the CEOs of these large corporations explain to me right now why I'm not suing you for violating the privacy of the banks and federal governments because of your illegal use of technology to access? See, we were really having a problem with technologists that made all their money selling these operating systems. Yes. And all that, well, we have a problem with you violating this act of 1984. Now, you probably do remember 1986, don't you, Bill and Melinda? Yes. That's the year that you went public with your Microsoft stock. Now, why don't you tell me how you have access to every computer in all these other nations without, well, get me the operating system, yes, of every computer in every nation of the world, yes. And then every time you did your Microsoft updates right now, it looks to me like I'm being obstructed from selling some computer you, yes, we know who you are. You remember the former president of China? Yeah. I'm his international sales director. I get 10% of all sales, and I sell super space cyber computers for $1 billion. I'm telling you right now. This federal statute that would criminalize various computer-related activities such as accessing without permission any desktop of any nation of the world. William H. Gates. I'd like to know exactly what you've been doing with the computers. Somebody said we were going to go Internet Explorer, IE. Oh, we were going to have the Microsoft. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Ballmer. Did you pay Wayne Garnett any money right now? I will have you sued for violating the Counterfeit Access Device and Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1984. And I will have you sued for violating my legal right to use Facebook, yes, Gmail, yes, YouTube, yes, and any other personal. You know, why don't you take all your shit off of every computer of every nation right now? We've been playing around for the last 10 years. As I remember it, yes, when I was on Guam, somebody accused the Chinese of taking the brains of the nation, as I remember it. Now you lit the static up. Yes. You decided to run the broadband through. Yes. You decided to take the brains. Yes. And then when I want my